Well, good morning and welcome to the first assembly of the year here at TD Christian. For those of you who are new or in grade 9, my name is Mr. Dykeshorn, and again, I'd like to welcome you to the first assembly of the year. I'm standing outside of Mr. Robinson's room. It's actually early in the morning here at school while I've been filming, which is why my mask is off. But I was just reflecting before I taped this on how good it's been to be back into school. Despite wearing masks, despite cohorting, despite kind of the things that we can't do, it's been really great to see a lot of the learning that's still happening. Outside of Mr. Robinson's room here, it reminded me of his class letting me help them do a physics experiment where I got to drop a flechette off of the school roof. I think it was on Instagram and Facebook. But just so great to be able to do that back live and in person. We're going to kick off today's assembly with some devotions from Eliza, who's a grade 12 student. And then after that, I'll be back for the rest of the assembly.
Hi everybody, so my name's Eliza. I'm a grade 12 here at TD this year. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to meet a lot of you guys yet, but I'm just going to bring a devotional to you guys this morning. And yeah, hopefully you guys can take some things away from it. So I'm just going to pray to start and then I'll get into it. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for bringing us to school safely today. I pray that you speak through me today and that you touch the lives of everyone that needs to be touched. I pray for our safety, to keep everyone here at school safe and our loved ones safe at home. And yeah, thank you for this life that we get to live. In your name I pray, amen. So I'm just gonna get into it. So the theme chapter this year that was chosen for TD is Matthew 7. And I'm just gonna touch on some key things that I noticed throughout the verses in this chapter. So the theme of new beginnings has been really prominent for me, and that I've noticed it in a lot of areas in my life and my friends' lives around me. So not just for the new students starting grade 9 this year or just the new students in other grades as well, but for everybody. We're all entering a new season of life. We're all entering uncharted waters that we've never been in before. So as we get into it, I just encourage you all to switch your perspective. Just the change in mentality can make the world of a difference for everybody. So overhauling the toxic thoughts or overhauling the bad perspectives, I think, can really be changed in the outcome if you make the switch in your mind. So I encourage you to have the mentality as I go through these points and as you enter whatever you're doing this year. So first of all, the theme of I'm just going to read verses 13 to 14 to you from Matthew 7, and that says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." So I find this verse, or these few verses, relating to high school a lot. Me personally, it's really easy to conform to the actions of the people around you just for the sole reason of because everyone's doing it. So I just encourage you guys to really analyze why you're doing what you're doing and to take the road less traveled. Life is filled with mountaintop moments. It's really easy to get caught up in the highest situations, whether it be a sports victory or good times with your friends. But our everyday life is lived in the valley. So I just encourage you to make the difference in the valley that you're living in. And take the situations that are given to you and just make the difference in them. Take the road less traveled. And then verses 24 to 25 read, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock." So I think these few verses set up a really cool analogy to life. So the rock is obviously the analogy for the foundation that the house was built on. So I'm just going to challenge you, what exactly is a foundation? To me, it's what you build your life on. It's your fallback when the storms of life get too tough. It can be like where your values really, really lie. So making sure that you have a sturdy, solid foundation is really, really key to making sure you have a successful and content life. So so I'm just going to tie this back to the first point as well. Entering high school and just throughout these past few years, I've noticed that you can navigate through many different paths of life. You learn so much about yourself, you grow up so much as a person, and you get to try so many new things while learning new versions of yourself. So making sure that your foundation is solid while you're growing so much is really, really important. You're not gonna get anywhere if every time you rise above or every time you take on a new situation, your foundation is crumbling. So making sure that your foundation is solid and gives you a solid fallback when things get tough is really important in just growing as a person. So I'm just gonna end off with this quote by Joseph Worthland that says, living the gospel does not mean the storms of life will pass you by, but we will be better prepared to face them with a foundation of serenity and peace. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that thought with you guys. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a good day.
Well, thank you for being brave enough to share those words, Eliza, and thank you for doing devotions with us today. We are looking for students and teachers to do devotions as much as possible again here in the assemblies this year. So if that is something that you're interested in, please do send me an ESB message. And if not, I'll probably come find you and ask you myself in person. One of the other things that we've done this week is you sent in just a ton of pictures from your summer. I haven't tallied up the amount from each cohort for the prizes yet, so I don't have anything to announce there. But what I did want to do is make sure we went through a slideshow of all the photos that you have all sent in. We can remember kind of that extended March break / long summer that many of us felt since March. So without further ado, here are your pictures from the summer. looks like such a wide array of things that we've done. Thank you for all those of you who sent those pictures in and participating in the assembly that way. We're looking for lots of participation in assemblies. We will soon be going live on assembly mornings thanks to Mr. Buwalda's grade 9 Pulse class. So looking forward to that, where we can do some live Kahoots and some other segments. So if you want to do something for assembly, whether that's playing a song, whether that's presenting some of your work, you can totally do that, and we will do that physically distanced and recorded out in that way. So again, if you want to participate in assembly, please send me an SB message, and we would like to hook you up with Mr. Buwalda's team and how we can film that. Also, we're looking for lots of new segments, so different things that we can do, and one of the new segments that we will have in each assembly is William's Word of the Week. So take it away, Mr. Groot.
William's Word of the Week.
This week's word is cohort. Definition. As a noun, it is a group of people banded together or treated as a unit. Used in a sentence, learn about people in your cohort so that your cohort becomes a unit. Cohort. What your cohort needs to do tomorrow afternoon. Create a cohort sign. Take a photo of it. Send it to Mr. Buwalda. Make it stand out. We will use it at our assemblies. Cohort.
This has been William's Word of the Week.
We also just wanted to take a minute in the assembly today to have one more report on the safety protocols that we need to be following, one more reminder. A lot of great things that you've already been doing, but just a reminder on all of the things we need to continue to do so that we can continue to have school here at school.
Hey everybody, good day. I've been asked to just talk to everybody about mask wearing at TD and what that all means and why. I talked to my grade 10 phys ed class last week, and I guess somebody overheard that and thought it'd be good for everyone else to hear. So I'll just start off by saying the masks, they suck. No one likes them. They're uncomfortable, they're hard to breathe through, they're sweaty, all those things, and they're a nuisance to remember all the time. So we all agree on that, teachers, students, anyone who has to work wearing one. No one likes wearing them, but I think we can all agree that being at school in this current format is better than being at home, learning on our own and learning online. And right now we live in Ontario, where there's certain rules in place for how you're supposed to be in buildings and how you're supposed to space when you're inside and outside. And we also live in a province where we're already seeing spikes in cases because people aren't taking it seriously. They're having parties, they're getting together, not wearing masks. And it's friends, it's parties, it's things going on at universities and such. And if that kind of trend continues, we're likely going to see a shutdown at some point where we'll be back to learning online, and no one wants that. So we just all need to do our part. One of the issues that we're going to face here at school is, as teenagers and as young people, you guys won't be showing symptoms. They say that teenagers don't often show the same symptoms, if any symptoms. They could be asymptomatic, and you could have COVID and not show symptoms and spread that to other people. You can spread it to your friends here at school, you can spread it to your family members at home, some who may show symptoms. So it's not just a matter of whether or not you feel healthy, and wearing a mask isn't about protecting yourself as much as it is protecting other people. So if you're wearing your mask and you potentially have COVID, but you're asymptomatic, you're cutting down the risk of you spreading that to other people. And so we just need to do our part, like I said, as a school to help stop the spread here. We might get some cases here over the course of the year, but if we're all wearing our masks, we can limit the number of people that get infected. We may not see a spike here, and then we can all continue learning and being here at school. So when you're on your bus, sitting side by side, make sure you're wearing your mask, even with you're sitting with your friends. If you're outside and you're not distancing, you're not 6 feet apart, make sure you're wearing your mask. And when you're in the building, make sure you're wearing your mask. So Just be careful out there. It's not just about you. It's about the people around you, your family, your friends. It's about people's businesses that may have to shut down at some point because there's an infection there. And anything we can do as Christians and as members of TD Christian to stop that from happening, I think we owe it to our fellow human beings and to the people we care about to do so. So I hope that helps all of us just gain a little bit of perspective on why we're wearing masks until there's a vaccine anyway. And who knows when that's going to be. They're saying now not till late spring at the earliest, so we just got to get used to them. It's got to become part of our routine, and along with hand washing and sanitizing, and it's just got to be something we do for the next little while. So take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you around. Have a good day.
Well, that's just about all for this week. I just want to again highlight the grade barbecues that happened this week outside. So thank you again, students, for making that happen. Thank you again, phys ed leadership class, for leading those events. You will be going today, grade 12, so hopefully you enjoy your burger. And other than that, that is it for the assembly. So have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next week.